Friends, my name is Kaustubh. I am teaching you the financial analysis today. So today's our topic is the financial analysis, and there are certain formulas that are important for the financial analysis. We'll try to make it in a simplified way so that you will understand it. And first of all, we'll not go to the formula directly. We'll understand the business process, how financial analysis will work, and after that we will discuss about the various type of formulas also. So the first thing which comes to my mind when you are thinking about the business is that what you want for the business. The first thing you require is that capital. There are certain two ways to make the capital. That is first is your own borrowings, or second thing is you have to your own savings. So these are two things. From capital, plant, machinery, land. As per the financial analysis, we have to say it as a fixed asset. So plant and machinery and land will be your fixed asset. So from that fixed asset, you have to make the goods ready for you. Suppose that you want to make mobile, you are making the mobile, and from the mobile you have made the mobile from plant and machinery, and then you are selling it. So as per the diagram, you can say that from fixed asset we can able to make the sales, and from sales we are making the profit. This is the simple business flow which comes to your mind when you are going for any business. It is very important to discuss about the business flows of any company. Now we will discuss about the formulas which are required for the financial analysis. So the first formula is a fixed asset turnover ratio, which is a very simple formula. Turnover, as we have already discussed, that it is a sales and a net fixed asset. So from this formula we can able to understand that what are the things you have generated from the fixed asset, and we are making it sales. Is it providing us a good revenue or not? So as per my understanding is that fixed asset turnover ratio, which is maximum, is the good for any business. Formulas for the financial analysis. This is the second formula. We can the second formula name is net profit margin ratio. So after doing sales, how much is the profit you have generated from the sales? That we can able to discuss, and we can able to understand it from the this ratio. Net profit is profit after tax. The second one is turnover. So net profit upon turnover, as you know, it's a sales, and the profit is a profit after tax. So there are two examples which we can able to discuss from this ratio. The first example is that they have done the turnover of 10 lakhs, and from this 10 lakhs they have generated the net profit of 1 lakh. So 0.1 is the ratio. So only 0.1 they are able to generate the profit. But as per the business, it is very important that to minimize the operating cost and make it as possible as make the business profitable actually. So net profit in the example second is that they have done the sales, that is turnover of 10 lakhs, but from that 10 lakhs they have generated the net profit of 5 lakhs. So 0.5 is the answer. The maximum, as from this ratio we can able to understand that the maximum is the net profit margin is good for the business. So hi guys, this is the form ratio number 3. So whenever you are doing any business, you cannot sell all the product in cash. So there is always a requirement for the credit period. So from there this formula is getting arised. Receivable days outstanding ratio, that is sales upon average receivables in a fiscal year. So there are two things actually, these two examples I have given. So you have sold the goods of 10 lakhs in this both example. You have sold the goods of 10 lakhs, but average money you have received in this fiscal year is 8 lakhs in the first example and the 9 lakhs in the second example. So minimum is the receivable days outstanding ratio that is good for any business. So once you have done the sales, and after sales it is very important that you have to get the money from the market. If you are not getting money and if it is taking time, then it is not good for your business. So it must be minimum as per the financial analysis. Ratio number 4, debt to equity. As you know, debt is a loan and the equity is owner's capital. So actually we have 3 example for it. Example number 1, as we can see, is 50 lakhs is debt. In example number 2, it is 1 crore is a debt, and in example number 3 there is the debt of 2 crores, and the equity capital is the same. So when we are calculating debt to equity ratios, so number is coming 0.25, 0.5 and 1. So as you can see, maximum number is going, which will be the harmful for the business, because as the debts are going high and owner's capital is going on the minimum side, so it will be lead as a problematic situation for the business, and in the meantime it will go for the bankruptcy. So it is better that you can maintain this ratio below 1. Formula for the financial year. So this is for ratio number 6, that is current ratio, that is current asset upon current liability. So in this ratio you can able to understand how comfortable a company can pay their short-term debts. And in ratio number 6, the debt ratio, the total liability upon total asset, how comfortable is a company for paying their long-term debts. So this ratios actually looks really similar, but it is having the 2 different meanings, which first one, that is ratio number 5, that is a short-term debt, and in the ratio number 6 it is for the long term, it is for the long-term debt. So guys, this is ratio number 5, that is current asset upon current liability, that is current ratio. In this current ratio we can able to understand how comfortable a company can pay their short-term debts. And in ratio number 6, it is debt ratio, that is total asset upon total liability. From this ratio we can able to understand how comfortable a company can pay their long-term debts. So in the ratio number 5, I have given the example in example 1 and example 2. We will take it as a 2 crore, and in the first example, that is 2 crore upon 1 crore, that is current asset of 2 crore and the liability of 1 crore. The answer is 2. The maximum number of the current ratio that is good for the financial analysis. In the second, in the ratio number 6, that is debt ratio. I have given you the example, that is that is total liability of 5 crores upon total asset of 1 crore, that is fifth, upon that is 5. In example 2, that is 2 crores of total liability upon 1 crore of the total asset. Answer is 2. In third ratio is that 3 crores of total liability and the 1 crores of asset. So in this ratio, as per the financial analysis, we as a benchmark of the minimum number of the debt ratio, that is the minimum number of the debt ratio that is good for the business, and simply the company is comfortable for paying their long term debts. So the minimum ratio is good for the financial analysis. Thank you guys for listening this topic. Actually, you can visit to my website www.kaustubhdll.com, and you can contact me for any other queries, that is kaustubhdll@gmail.com.